Hey everybody, Sarah here. So today we are going to be finally doing the Morph Deep Dive on Orange Thing. Before we do, I just want to thank all of the members of this channel. You guys help make it possible. Thank you so much to Frankie, Montosaurus Rex, Zoe, Casey, Jelly Dots, Melissa, Raul, Black Tongue, Amy, Bridget, William, Robert, other Amy, and April. You guys are amazing. I know a lot of you have been in here for what, like 5 months. Thank you guys so much. That really helps keep the channel going, and it especially helps with the book review series that we've been doing. I'm gonna link that above if any of you would like to go see the book reviews that I've done on some popular and also some not so popular corn snake books that are out there. Remember to like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and if you really like this educational corn snake content, those little things like liking and subscribing really help quite a lot, because it's not only helping me and this channel grow, but it's also helping other people become more educated on corn snakes, and that is the goal of this channel. So thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. Thank you to everyone who's already a member. If you'd like to be a member, you can click join under any video. It's $2 a month. You get your own stuff, your own content. You get access to live videos after they're over. I do plan to do a live soon. I just don't know when. We'll get there. If you're a member, you also get your own videos, such as like egg laying videos and any new arrivals that might come, any like little funny video that I might record of the snakes here and there that you're just not going to get anywhere else. I also want to take a minute to thank the sort of sponsor of the channel. I say sort of because it's not an official sponsorship, but it still helps me out a lot, and that is Reptilinks. You can use my code SarahSnake27 at checkout there, and you can get $5 off. They do have a $100 money back guarantee, so if you are a little hesitant to use Reptilinks, you're not really sure if your snakes are going to like them, you can just order that $100 worth, and if it doesn't work out, they do guarantee that $100 back to you. So again, you can use my code, or you can just click the link in the description below and it will automatically put the code in for you. I'm going to take a second to plug my own website, sarahsnakeshop.com. I have a lot of snakes available on there right now. Kind of surprised some of them haven't been scooped up. There's a beautiful snow on there, some beautiful aneries, some just amazing like little babies on there that I'm really surprised haven't been sold. So if you're interested in seeing what I have for sale, and that includes both snakes and other merchandise such as t-shirts, I just sent out an awesome tie-dye t-shirt the other day to a 10-year-old for his birthday, or I think he just turned 9. This is his ninth birthday, and I made it custom for him. He wanted the normal corn snake colors to sort of match the shirt, and so I think that I did a really good job on that, and I think he's really gonna love it. So if you would like your own custom tie-dye shirt, or if you would like anything else, I also have masks for sale on there, where I can also tie-dye those masks if you would like. So, done with all of the plugs, let's talk about Orange Thing. Just want to mention before we jump in that all of these photos, unless otherwise stated, are from Steve Roylance's Facebook page and or Instagram page. So thank you, Steve, for putting up all of these photos so that we actually would have access to them. So unfortunately, Orange Thing's history is very short. We have all the information that there is to have. The problem is there's just not much information to exactly have at this point, but I'll give you what we do have. So Orange Thing popped up in Steve Roylance's collection in 2014. He was breeding 2 normal corn snakes that were supposed to be het cinder and stripe, and of course the goal was to get cinder stripes. Well, he ended up with these weird bright orange odd looking babies instead, and probably some other things as well, but these were the notable ones. I distinctly remember him making the joke that maybe he was living on like a nuclear contamination site because of all these bright orange colors that were just showing up randomly in his collection. And so a lot of people started speculating what they could possibly be. When they hatch out, they do look a lot like Castania morphs, and actually a lot of the ones that originally hatched out were hypo versions of this as well. So the het cinder stripes also ended up being het hypo, as well as having this weird orange thing going on. He repeated the breeding and still got more orange things, so this wasn't just a one-time fluke. This was something that both parents ended up actually carrying. So a lot of people thought it might actually be Castania. I did make a Castania versus Sunrise video about a year ago, and so I'll link that above if you guys would like to go watch it. I do plan to redo a lot of those videos because I believe back then I wasn't using all of the technology that I'm using now, and so I want to be able to give you guys the best experience on learning corn snake morphs possible, and that means redoing some of the old videos. But for now, that one's up there if you would like to go and get that information. So for those of you who don't know, Castagna and Sunrise were proven to be allelic to each other, and that essentially means if you breed a Castagna to a Sunrise, you're gonna get babies that are all a mix of both. It's kind of like if you breed A-male and Ultra together, you're gonna get all Ultra males. Very similar thing. It's like if you breed Hypo and Strawberry together, you're gonna get all Hypo berries. You're gonna get that combination. And so they think that Orange Thing might actually be related to these other genes in the same way. The reason that we don't think that they're exactly the same is something that Steve mentioned with his experience with them, and that is, quote, "The interesting thing about them is that unlike Castagna and Mandarin and Sunrise types, they seem to be lacking the orange coloration in the dorsal blotches. Usually they would have some orange coming in by now, but these guys are different. So even though they look a little bit similar at hatching, they do not develop the same way that we know Castagna morphs do or Sunrise morphs do. Sunrise will actually gain quite a lot of color in a very short period of time all over the body. Castagna kind of has a muted color for the majority of its life over most of its body, except a lot of times there will be more saturation toward the head than the tail. But these orange things seem to be different. They do have quite a bright creamy orange, peachy, salmon-y type of color, but they're not quite like anything else that we have. Now, of course, this is also different from the orange corn snake, orange being the combination of buff and amelanistic. We don't typically use that so much. A lot of breeders that I know don't really like to use the term orange for that combination just because there's a lot of corn snake morphs that are orange, but it just is the name, so I thought I would at least kind of put it out there that Orange Thing is different from just orange. So this Orange Thing has been bred in both Castagna lines and Sunrise lines, and it has been proven to definitely interact with those other gene mutations in a similar way that, say, Hypo would interact with Strawberry or the A-male would interact with Ultra. We've proven that it is very likely a totally different gene mutation that is just allelic to these other two mutations, and that's really awesome. But it also makes it really confusing. We have a very similar thing to Hypo Strawberry Christmas going on now with these three, Sunrise, Castagna, and Orange Thing. Now, of course, I would love if Orange Thing was called something else, like maybe Orange Juice or something else, something that kind of set it apart from everything else. But Orange Thing is what we have for now, or until we decide to name it something else. And I think that if we're gonna name it anything else, Steve Roylance needs to be the one to name it because he's the one who found it. This may be a relatively short deep dive, but that's about all we know. We know that it came from Steve Roylance's collection. He was trying to get Cinder stripes, maybe Peppermint stripes, since there was some A-male in the line as well, maybe Hypo Peppermint stripes, since there was also Hypo in the line as well. But he ended up with something completely different, which is beautiful and amazing, and we love it. This is one of those things that if I had the space and the time, it might be a project that I would get into just because I think that they look really cool. We know that they have been tested with both Sunrise and Castagna, and that it's very likely not the same gene mutation, but it's a mutation in the same gene, if that makes sense. We've talked about this before, where the same gene can mutate in different ways, and then interact when you breed the two mutations together in a different way than they would react if you bred them to something completely different. So, for example, even though Ultra is a Hypo type, and Hypomelanistic type A is a Hypo type, breeding the two of them together is not going to give you hypotypes just because they're both hypos. It's because these are two very different genes within like the whole corn snake genome or whatever. It's two different genes that were mutated to do something very similarly. So even though something may look similar, it may not react with something that looks similar to it, if that makes sense. But in this case, we do have three things that look somewhat similar and do sort of somewhat similar things in some cases, and then breeding them together actually does yield this combination that we see. I guess the biggest thing that we don't really know yet is if this Orange Thing actually mixes with Sunrise and Castagna, or if it's something recessive to Sunrise or Castagna. That's something we don't know yet. That would be something similar to Motley and Stripe, where if you breed a Motley and a Stripe together, you're going to get 100% Motleys that carry the Stripe mutation. And then if you breed those two Motleys together, you can get some Stripes after that. So it could be a situation where if you breed an Orange Thing with a Castagna, you get all Castagna babies, and then breeding those Castagna babies together might give you an Orange Thing. We don't really know yet. We don't know for sure, but I am still kind of waiting to see what all of these test breedings like turn out to be, how they turn out, and I'm keeping an eye on Steve Rowlands' Facebook page all the time just to see what new things come out of it. But for now, we just know that it's allelic, most likely. It's probably similar to that AML Ultra thing we were talking about. I did do a video on that if you'd like to go check it out. I did a video on hypotypes if you would like to check that out as well. And with that, I'm going to end the video. So thank you guys all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Don't know what it's going to be yet, because I have not been planning. I have not been planning, and I'm sorry. Comment down below if there's something specific that you want. And also, if you made it this far, you're my secret audience, so thank you. Just comment the word pink or orange. One of the two. Comment a color. Just any color that you can think of, because I'm wearing pink lipstick today, and we're talking about orange thing. So just comment a color. Your favorite color, or your least favorite color, or just any color to prove that you're in the super secret club. Thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you in the next video.